Hi everybody, we're just going to do a quick bloom recipe practice round on this tile. I wanted to experiment with the Black Cell Activator, which I made with Golden's Carbon Black 3:1. So, excuse me, 1 part black to 3 parts Australian Floetrol. So I just mixed up a few lighter colored primary elements and a couple of tube paints, not that many. So we're gonna give it a shot. If you hear some background music, it's my husband. So I'm trying to record more of the experimenting. I'm kind of bad about remembering to do that. So anyway, this is a white pillow base. It's house paint. I use some sort of premium Glidden brand. And I'm going to do this one as sort of a swipe. I've been having some better cell action with that. I'll do my best to go over my colors with you. So this is Pink Parasol by Colourarte. It's really pretty, like almost cotton candy pink. So bear with me just a second here. I'm actually gonna close our doors so you don't hear as much music. Alright, so I've never used a Black Cell Activator before, not in the regular technique, and not in this one, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I am gonna throw a couple of darker colors that I already have mixed up. This is Ginger Flower. I'm really just going to do that for contrast, so I'm not going to put a lot of them. Just need a little contrast, that's all. Oops, that was a lot more than intended. And let's see. This is Pebeo Red Blue Iridescent. It's a really pretty color. I like this one's a little bit thick, but I'm just gonna, this is not a super dark color, but it is also very bright compared to some of these other colors. So I'm gonna throw in, since this is in between 2 colors that are kind of bright, I'm gonna throw in a little Firefly. I love Firefly. It's sort of like an interference gold meets like a super light milky caramel, and I just think it's so beautiful, and it's such a beautiful like accent color. All right, so now we need to break up some of these colors and throw in some like teals, and since there is some like almost a coral in that Pebeo color, I'm just going to throw in a little teal right here. This is Turquoise Blue by Amsterdam. It's a beautiful color. Sorry, that was my little doggy. She's in here with me. And now I would like to throw in, this is Robin's Egg by Colourarte. It's a beautiful color. Just absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of bubbles in this paint. And I'm trying to not overpower the pastels, but they kind of need a little something so they're not just pastel. And then I think we'll do a little bit of, just a little bit, not a lot. I'm trying to reuse my popsicle sticks. I mixed some paint earlier. This is Greenish Blue by Amsterdam. Who doesn't love this color, right? It's gorgeous. And I need to stop doing everything in lines. I need to start venturing around a little bit, because if we tilt this, which we're going to, we don't necessarily want everything to come as a line from the inside. So I have some Prussian blue here. I'm on the fence as to whether or not I should use it. This is hydrangea. This is a beautiful like bluish purple color, and I think it is gorgeous. So I'm gonna just kind of put it on the outline of this. Maybe kind of go around where we just put some of those other colors. I know I'm using colors that don't necessarily all go together. This is also, oops, a way for me to experiment with some of the colors I have. I really like this pink Parasol a lot more than I thought I would like it. When I first saw it, I was like, that's very cotton candy-ish, but it's really a beautiful color. A lot of bubbles. So, let's see. I have a little bit of the boysenberry left over from some pours that I did. So I think that we'll put that out here. It is a beautiful color. We might as well kind of use it up in this pour. Actually, I probably should save it. It may not save very well though. So just kind of throwing it on here. I've already had to put a little more varnish in it just to get a little more life out of it. All right. It's so pretty. Clumsy. I'll just do a little bit of that action. Can you tell I like the color? I'm trying to put it everywhere. And then, probably using a little bit too much paint here. I'd like to use a little coral berry. This is also by Colourarte. I'm just like in the mood to drop things today. So I feel like we can maybe add this one down here, right? And then maybe even, I don't know, a little bit over here. I feel like maybe we're running out of places to put extra colors, which is kind of what I knew I was going to end up doing to myself, was bringing too many colors into play here. This is sort of like, it is like a coral color, but it's also pretty orangey. Let's see, I think this is still the hydrangea. I want some pixie dust in here for sure. Look at that. I think I have this mixed up a little bit too thick. The bad thing is I've kind of filled up some space where this really should go with darker colors. So I'm just trying to drizzle it in somewhere because it's so pretty. It is a beautiful color. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. It's an experiment. Just trying to bring you guys in on a few more experiments than I typically do. I'm not good about filming things all the time, and then something really great will happen and I'm like, man. And then other times I film things and it's a complete flop. So, you know, gotta take the good with the bad. And sometimes I share the flops anyway, because I think I personally learn from people who share when things didn't go as planned. So I assume that other people do too. The thing with this particular technique is your paint will dry out pretty quickly. So if you're done with it, it doesn't hurt to put it away. Put the lid on it. I'll put a little bit of this in here with the pink. I have a feeling that color will be almost undetectable. Kind of want to throw in some of this Freesia color. I don't really see any place to put too much more of this Firefly color without it just being tipped off completely. So maybe on the corners it'll be harder to stretch. So pretty, like there's just no way to do it justice because it's so light. It's hard to see how beautiful it really is, but it is so pretty. Sorry, those bubbles are driving me a little crazy. Let's see. This is Freesia. It's sort of similar in color to Hydrangea, only it's a little bit more of a lilac color. So if I were to put it somewhere, I would probably put it here. It's probably not going to show very much, unfortunately. Maybe we'll just kind of put it on top of some other colors. I think I was maybe trying to put too many things in one particular painting. I mean, it's a 6-inch tile. How much room do you have? You know what I mean? But we have already put Robin's egg in there, so I'm going to close that little guy up. I don't know what I did with the lid for the pink parasol. Maybe I didn't make one yet. I really like it though. Put it around the edges a little bit. It's so pretty. So the thing I like about doing a little bit of a swipe is that you can maintain a little bit of your color without completely blending them, but you can also blend them a little bit. So that's what's kind of fun. Like we might be able to pull some of this green blue over a little bit, but it'll still be fairly distinctive. Got paint all over me. So that's what's kind of fun. Now if we were to do a traditional bloom, we would do puddles and we would kind of stack those up and then put our cell activator in the middle of that. But with a swipe, we're more or less going to just kind of put the paint wherever you think you can swipe it. There's not necessarily going to be a lot of rhyme or reason, except for you don't want it to be too matchy-matchy unless you're going to just swipe it in a straight line, which is fine. But I like to be able, I usually will do it in various patterns because then when I swipe it, I have a place to pull those from. Now when you torch house paint, as I previously mentioned, it's going to burn really easily. Like I can already smell that I just probably got a little bit of an edge on that paint. So just be careful with that. So here's my cell activator. It has a little fuzz in it. That's awesome. Let me get a paper towel. So what we're going to do, sorry about my arm there. I'm going to get a couple toothpicks for the bubbles, and then we're going to dip the little card in the cell activator and then swipe instead of pouring it on first. The fun thing about this is you can control it a little bit better, and you can control where it goes. I don't really know what I'm worrying about these because we're not done tilting or anything yet. I like to use these paint swatches. I don't remember who gave me this idea, but I like to use them. And so we're basically just dipping it in there. I don't want too much cell activator because I don't want it to smear just black paint everywhere. So it's just a little bit. And I'm going to pull from the inside out at first. Can't quite figure out exactly where. I think I'm going to start here. That didn't quite work out as well as I planned. As you can see, it formed cells, but it formed it over my house paint, not over the paint that I wanted to move. So I'm going to try to grab it one more time. See if we can't pull it over the actual paint. One of the reasons I'm pulling from the center is if I don't like part of it, like I don't particularly like that it's showing more of the house paint than what I wanted to accentuate. There are some cells in there, but what I learned from my last one is I don't necessarily want it to swipe across the whole thing and muddy up the whole painting if I'm not gonna like that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come from the middle and I'm gonna go over a few colors there. Very gently. That's half the battle, is not having too heavy of a hand. And again, the cells there were okay. I would probably want to see a little bit more cell action here. You have a little bit of a window where you can probably pull it again, but it's not a lot. So also, what I'm experiencing is that, ooh, I got other paint in my cell activator. What I'm experiencing is that Black Cell Activator is a little bit different than your typical Amsterdam white and Floetrol. So I'm gonna try to pull from, I don't love some of the cells we're getting here, but I'll try to pull from here, maybe from here where we have all this color. Oh man, it's hard to do this correctly. We got some good cells there. I don't like that part, but we can tilt some of that off. So I'm kind of torn with, should I go back over this or not? That wasn't too terrible. I think I'm also adjusting to seeing such a stark contrast with using a Black Cell Activator. Like the paint is so dark compared to the colors. And so I think that is also part of my adjustment. So let's see. I don't really like this, so what if we just pull from here a little bit? And we know some of that's going to get tilted off, right? It could be that it's not just showing the white house paint underneath. It just could be that these colors are so pale that that's what it looks like. It looks like that to me. So while we have a little bit of a wiggle room, I think I will pull this a little bit this way. Yeah, I'm not wild about that. I kind of should have left that alone. That's okay. We can fix that. I think. I mean, I don't really know. Why don't we swipe this time from this section? I hope y'all aren't seeing my big old head. Torching a little bit to get the cells to come up to the top so we can see what is underneath there that might be worth keeping. Let's see. That didn't really help anything, huh? Like that right there. I don't know that I'm helping it at all. I love the cells right there though. Those are cool. It's the only thing I knew to do to fix that. I don't know that it entirely fixes it. So there's some cells that I think are cool. Some look overstretched. So I think at this point I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna just stretch it and to kind of deliberately keep some of these colors together. So, let's try to swipe from, I don't like this, so we're probably gonna tilt most of that off. So let's, I think instead of trying to fix this, I'm just gonna count on the fact that we're probably gonna swipe some of that off. And I'm gonna tug it a little bit, which may be dumb. Okay, now at this point, almost anything I do could make this muddier. So I'm just gonna torch it a little bit so what's in the bottom can come up. And we're gonna tilt it, and whatever it is, right? So the good thing is I wanted to see how well the Black Cell Activator created cells, and it does seem to do that. So I say that I'm done, but I'm obviously not entirely done. So that's kind of cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and tilt it. My husband's gonna need our tripod in just a minute, so we're gonna kind of go the direction first where we kind of want to lose some of it, and which is tricky because like in some places I really like it, like right there I don't want to tip that lacing off, but right here I wouldn't mind. So when you're tilting, if you will grab where the paint is coming and kind of help it a little bit, like I'm putting stuff here just to move the paint, it's gonna come off so it doesn't have to match. And that helps you not have to overstretch to get what you want off of there. Now some of this, as it stretches, is obviously going to become a little bit more muddy than it is now. That's okay. Oh, see, I'm losing some of the lacing that I don't want to lose. So we're going to go the opposite direction for a minute. I hope you can see what I'm doing because I tend to pull it out of the camera view. So, and as you can see, we're keeping some of our color blocks that we started with, but they're just kind of moving into their own design. And I lost some of that beautiful lacing. I know that I cannot entirely avoid that, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. So, fortunately I'm having trouble getting this corner covered a little bit better. So everything I do right there is not working. Okay, and again, I'm just picking up some of this paint to try to cover our corners. In a pinch, you can also just put some house paint on your corners and help it move that way. What you don't want is to compromise the whole composition of the entire piece for a stupid corner. And I can't tell you how many times I have unintentionally done that. So I really like quite a bit of this. We have all of our paint covered now. It's kind of cool looking, right? Not necessarily everything I had hoped it would be, but it doesn't happen all that often anyway. There are times though that it just blows your mind and it's completely other than what you thought it would be. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, please follow us on social media. Our links are going to be in the description box below. Feel free to leave a comment and let us know what you thought of this. I know it's kind of an experiment, but it's always nice to get the feedback. And this will be finished with resin and uploaded to social media once it's completely finished. So anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.